Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. This video is briefly going to discuss issues associated with U.S. immigration and specifically the interview. There's another video on this channel specifically regarding interview questions, but this one is more about the interview itself and what sort of the protocols are after interview, and sort of to dispel some misconceptions about whether or not the interview is sort of the culmination of the overall process. To that point, no, the interview is not necessarily the end of the road in a given visa case. After interview, if a legal ground of inadmissibility is found in the case, then one may need to apply for what's called an I-601 waiver before the possibility of ultimate visa issuance can transpire. If you're looking for information specifically about I-601 waivers, there's another video on that topic on this site. But essentially, a legal grant of inadmissibility, like for example, prior overstay or a criminal history of some sort, or so-called crimes involving moral turpitude, which is a bit of a misnomer because it may not be a crime. It may just be, some sort of citation for something involving quote-unquote moral turpitude. These kinds of inadmissibility findings can result in a visa denial. And after interview, it could take 6 months to a year before a waiver would be issued. And even after that, after post-waiver issuance, dealing with the embassy yet again to go ahead and get the visa issued is not a foregone conclusion. It can take some time. That's with specific legal grounds of inadmissibility. At interview, a finding could be made. Let's talk family visas here for a minute, spousal and fiancé. A finding could be made that the relationship itself is a sham. And in sham relationship cases, the case will be denied and it'll be remitted back to Department of Homeland Security for cancellation of the underlying petition. So that could result in an overall denial. Another thing that can happen is a 221G, which is essentially sort of a quasi-denial. It's basically a deferment of ultimate decision until further documentation is remitted to the embassy. And these are becoming more and more frequent. It's my opinion that consular officers at the Department of State at the U.S. embassies and consulates abroad, they have a mandate to undertake serious due diligence in adjudicating visa applications. And when they do so, they may see something that they just want to see. They have a very large amount of discretion. Again, there's another video on this channel called The Doctrine of Consular Non-Reviewability. Their discretion, or consular absolutism, their discretion is nearly absolute. If they just want to see something different, some more photos, some more documentation showing financial ability to support, whatever, they're allowed to ask for that, and they often do. And so again, my only point with this video is to sort of essentially to rectify certain expectations with respect to the interview itself, because many of my clients get frustrated at the end of the interview when further action is needed to ultimately get visas issued. And I understand this frustration, but again, it's part of the process, and it's why you hire an attorney to deal with these matters. Again, the end of court proceedings in the United States, there's no defined closure point sometimes to these matters. It kind of comes to a close whenever it comes to a close. Now, we can usually say in most routine visa cases that within a certain degree of accuracy, timelines and things like this. But to try and predict an overall outcome in an interview or to try and predict an overall timeline is sometimes difficult, especially if you're trying to get it down to a week or a day or something. This is almost impossible. So my only point in finishing off this video is that the viewer understands that visa interviews, yes, they tend to be the culmination of the overall process, but in some cases, there's sort of a denouement to the overall process in the sense that there's more to deal with before the visa is ultimately issued.